Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and today I'm using my counterfeit kit challenge to play with a stretch a sketch. And this is the sketch we're stretching, and it is an A4 size. I'm going to do it as a double 12 by 12 layout. So I pulled out my counterfeit kit and scraps. This could have been my scrap challenge for the month. It's not going to be, but it totally could have been because I just used scraps. So I'm just showing you some of the scraps that I have already. I don't have a pile there, but I am going to use just scraps and stickers on this today. So I have these photos of actually both my kiddos at Girl Guide Camp. The stickies are covering up other children's faces that may or may not want their faces on YouTube and the internet. So I just, as a courtesy for them, cover them up because I don't know. And most of these kids, I don't have a way to contact to say, hey, do you mind? So this is easy and done and not a big deal. So I'm looking through my scraps to see what I can use. I have this piece that is super cute. I do not have a layout for process to show you, but I will show a lot of the ones that I made this month, some of with my kit and some without, because I went to a use your own product workshop and used tons and tons of stuff and got 40 layouts done, two which were double pages. So yay. So I'll show you those in a couple weeks. But these are some of the leftovers that I have. That pumpkin one, you've seen me do the layout for that one. Some of these you did, some of them you haven't. That's okay. So I just sorted out what ones would work for the colors, which one is going to get lost on that orange. And then I matted my photos in black so they pop a little bit more, because I felt like they were going to get lost with all the crazy going on. And then these are 2x2, like in the sketch. The long one right beside it is also 2x4, and which is like the sketch. And then the second half of the layout is just going to extend. And both of these are 4x4s, I believe. And then the last one is a 3x5. So I did tape my two pieces of paper together so that I can work with it like it's one piece and get things glued on and not worry about where are things at. And I decided I was going to get my pictures mostly down to where I thought they would go so that it is easier just to place some of this paper in. Trying to figure out this piece isn't going to go here, but the corners cut off, and I'm like, I don't know. So it's not going to stay there. I did know before I even started, I wanted to use that fall sticker because I don't have very much fall left to actual scrapbook right now, which is amazing and awesome. But I wanted to use the fall as part of the title, so the title is going to be a fall camp. I'm cutting that down to 4x4 as well. And so this is going to be the base of the fall. There's going to be another piece that's going to go here too. And then my two little 2x2s are going to get overlapped with the sticker because there wasn't anything there important anyway. Not a big deal. So I thought about putting that black and white star, which is on my layout from the 12th, I think the 12th. And I'm going to use it here. I thought about putting it over by the photos, but because I matted my photos in black, I was going to lose my photo again. But the black over here works well because there's no photos there, and so it kind of ties that black in the other end of the layout, where it has this massively big title. So I'm sorry about my head in the way and the change of the focus of my camera. I don't know why this was so hard. I'd get it over on the top half where I'd want it, but then I put it too far right, and then I don't know. I didn't want to see the papers at the top because they are not the same height, and it didn't matter because I knew I wanted that sticker to overlap the top, but it took a little bit. And then I thought I was going to use these Fa La 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 La, I think they're memory keepers, making memories. Look at right there, making memories alphas. They kind of like a burlappy feel to them, but I didn't like the way they were playing with each other, I guess is a way to say. So I'm going to pull out all the burgundy ones that I have, but the P burgundy and the M and the P are two different colors, and I don't know. And then I didn't really like how the font was playing with the fall, and so I also pulled out these ones that were a contender. And then these tile ones, this burgundy is almost the same color of these tile stickers of the fall, and I think the font works a little bit better with this fall too. So my title is Fall Camp, and my P is crooked, and I don't care. It's all good. Not a big deal. And now I'm going to play with this a little bit more. So I thought I was going to slide a couple of these strips in this way. But when I look at the sketch as I'm creating, this bottom line is all lined up, and except for like the notebook paper, and I think there's one other strip there. And I was like, I don't know. Nope. Let's play with this. So I'm just going to take a little bit more of this signage paper from Echo Park and slide it in. And it doesn't match up completely, but after you get everything else on it, it's not visible. It probably is visible now that I said something, but nobody looking at it in my book is going to be like, oh, those are two different pieces of paper, because they're not going to see. Then I am going to get this. This is actually an end off of a calendar, but it looks like a notebook page, and it was in my scraps. And when I did my workshop, it ended up on the floor, but it's some good color for this. So good color, great grammar. The color matches really well. And then this other piece I was going to put over there, I'm just going to put on either side of this group photo, and that brings a little bit of brightness around there. And then you can't tell that that paper doesn't go the whole way, so it looks like it's bigger. Then I'm going to get this pumpkin paper on. You're not going to see much of it, but it does add some brightness and some color to the page too. And then the other notebook piece I'm going to put underneath this photo, because I thought, why not? Why not change it up? So I'm going to line it up with that paper, and then it's not going to stay like that. Well, it is going to stay like that, but I'm going to change it a little bit more. But I actually get quite a few stickers on here, which is lovely. So that one is going to stay there. And then I decide this sign paper, I'm going to slide underneath this photo. It felt like it needed just something underneath it instead of just hanging out in the orange cardstock that I've got going on there. And then I wanted it lined up because everything else is lined up, but I have that notebook piece. So I'm like, oh, I'll just cut a little bit off, and then I'll line it up with the top of the notebook piece. But then I cut too much of it off, and then I wasn't, it was ridiculous, but whatever. So I line up at the bottom, rip that off, or up a bit, make sure it's straight. It's not going to line up with the top of the other one, but I don't care. That goes back on. That works out okay. Looking at where I put my photo. So this is going to go on. It has a little bit of a mat now. I thought about putting something on the top, and I'm like, nope, don't need it. Don't want it. I will do something else with that spot in a minute. So then I have this weird gappy bit here with the orange. And so I didn't want to put another piece of paper there. So I'm going to fill it with stickers. And I thought that one worked well for the bottom corner. And then this tray of treats and things works well. The one that's underneath that 2x4 photo with the flowers sticking out is actually with a vase. And so I'm just going to make it work. I don't typically use vases on things, but I use the flowers in them all the time. And then this pumpkin's going to go down here by the sign and the other flower. And I'm going to put a mug over here because the kiddos are sitting by the fire and we usually have hot chocolate too. They're having hot dogs. And then I wanted something else here. So I am going to tear this strippy bit and I'm going to layer it underneath the notebook and underneath the sticker. And things are falling. And then this will go on and that covers up that rest of that space really nicely. It's longer, but it is like the strippy bit that works out well. And then I have the other bit that I tore off. And so this is just going to slide underneath this other notebook piece as well after I figure out what I want to do. And so this was a little finicky and I don't know why it was as finicky as it was, but it was just catching on all the little tabby bits and but I get it finally. And then I was trying to use my pokey tool to be smart to like just kind of get my nozzle, my glue under, but it moved, but not enough to worry about. So not enough to like have to redo the whole process, I should say. And then some more glue on this and ruffle those bits up. And now I'm going to put journaling in. So I'm going to draw some pencil lines, then I'm going to write my journaling, and then I'm going to draw the lines in ink too. But my head gets in the way here in a second. I am going to write 2018 in the same stickers here, and that pulls that alpha both sides of the page. And it is 2018, so yay me, know that. I know that because I had to look it up for my paper or my layout from Friday, which was also the same camp with my other kiddo, which meant I found a whole bunch more of these pictures to scrap for my youngest too. And so my journaling says, we always tried to get out camping with Girl Guides as soon as possible. The new park was a big hit this year. Saturday lunch was almost always roasted campfire hot dogs. Because why not? And then some signage stuff here, just to fill in this gap a little bit and make that a real focal point. This pink flower is going to go not there, right here, and fills in that last little bit of the orange that was a little awkward still. This pumpkin is going to go there, and then I'm going to put another pumpkin right there to finish that bit out. And then one of these circle ones right by 2018, because why not? I thought about one more, but decided nope. And then I decided, because my Tattered Angels charcoal spray is on my desk, I'm just going to splatter. Because why not orange and black? And then it does tie that black in all over the page and not just in the photos in that one edge. And yay, just clean. I'm double checking pictures and there wasn't any, but that actually had stuff in the packaging that I used. So, and then this is still taped and glued together. So I'm going to line it up on my trimmer and just making sure that I've got this super lined up, and I'm just going to run it right through. And yay, look at that. It was so slick. I was so happy. Typically I do that with my scissors. That was way easier with my trimmer. There's some close-ups. That's a wrap on this page. There will be some still shots to follow. If you are new here, I would love if you subscribed, if you liked and shared some crafty love in the comments below. In my description box, I always have links, playlists, and blogs linked as well. If there's, well, there is some for this today. And yeah. lots of pictures today because of it's being 2. And there they are. They're not lined up, but my pictures weren't so great for that part of things, but that's okay. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful day.